So, in addition to Dragon Ball Super's English dub premiering Saturday night on Toonami/Adult Swim, we also got the Kai Buu Saga at last. Dragon Ball Kai or Dragon Ball Z Kai, the final chapters, at long last aired with the first episode of the Buu arc at midnight later that night. And I wanted to give you guys my quick thoughts on this dub and tell you everything you need to know about the Kai Buu Saga final chapters and hopefully clear up some misconceptions you may have about this product. So first thing I want to clarify very quickly is that this is not the same cut of the Kai Buu Saga that aired in Japan. This is the final chapters version. There is some confusion about this, but basically there were two different cuts of the Buu Saga of Dragon Ball Z Kai made. There's the original Japanese and there's the final chapters version. The final chapters one is exclusively for the international markets outside of Japan. So France, Latin America, and of course the English-speaking world, the US, Australia, we got the final chapters version. Now, the one that aired in Japan on Fuji TV was 60 episodes. Now, those of you who watch Dragon Ball Z, you know that the Buu Saga is actually roughly around 91 episodes or so, 92 episodes, because, you know, Dragon Ball Kai is known to cut out a lot of the filler. Well, in the Japanese run of Kai, the Buu Saga specifically, it was 61 episodes, but in the final chapters cut, it's actually 69 episodes. They added 8 more episodes, and Kai is known to cut out the filler, but in the final chapters version, more of the filler was put in. Now, if you're wondering why the international outside of Japan version of Kai is different than the one that aired on Fuji TV in Japan, I don't have an answer for you. I don't know. It's just a decision that Toei made, and honestly, I couldn't even tell you why they made the decision. But because we got the final chapters version and because it even exists, that means that the intro and outro songs for the Buu Saga and for the Buu Saga final chapters version are actually different. The Buu Saga in Japan got Kuzen Zetsugo as the intro, which translates to airy first and absolute last, but the international release got a different song called Fight It Out. For the Toonami broadcast, they had an English version of Fight It Out, but it was not sung by any of the Funimation voice actors like there was for the previous, old episodes of Kai. No, this was the English song sung by Masatoshi Ono, so it's going to sound a little bit weird because, as you guys know, whenever you have a Japanese person singing English, most of the time there's a little bit of a slur there because of the language barrier. So it does sound a bit weird, but I was happy that Funimation and Toei chose to stick with the English version of the Japanese song because it makes the series much more closer to its Japanese counterpart, even though, again, this is the international release. Now, let's talk about the voice acting, okay? I thought the voice acting in the Buu Saga of Kai episode 1 was incredible. Now, it's episode 1 of the Buu Saga of Kai, so I'm going to probably label it as such, but it's really not episode 1. It's episode 99 of Kai, because it does continue on from Kai, but still, you know what I'm saying. The first Buu Saga episode I thought was fantastic, with the MVP, of course, being Kyle Hebert as adult Gohan. Of course, Kyle Hebert reprising his role as Gohan from Dragon Ball Z and everything else. I thought he was extraordinarily good here as far as his vocal inflections. I thought he captured it really, really well. I felt like Videl, which was voiced by Kara Edwards, I thought was really, really good here. I think she captured Videl's, indomitable spirit while still being inquisitive about this mysterious golden warrior. And really that is the first episode is, the Gohan goes to high school, there's a heist in the city, he becomes the mysterious golden warrior or golden fighter, and he saves the day, and then, he goes to high school and he plays baseball, which is pretty much kind of what we saw in Dragon Ball Z. I love these episodes so very much. Now the thing is, as far as the dubbing goes, as far as the voice acting and the sound mixing, I thought was tremendous. The mixing and mastering of this product I thought was really well done. Much, much better than DBZ. I've said this before. This has nothing to do with your personal nostalgia for Dragon Ball Z. If you like the old DBZ dub, there's nothing wrong with that. But you need to understand that Funimation is a better company now. And I'm sure most of you know this. No matter how much you love the old DBZ dub, they're better at everything they do now. The voice acting, the voice direction, the ADR work from Chris Sabat, the mixing and mastering of the audio is is much, much, much better. I mean, you can hear the old DBZ mixing and mastering, especially when you have like the English voices with the Japanese music on the DVDs. Sounds a little weird. Like the Japanese music seems to be a little more behind. With this cut with modern technology, it just sounds better. It just sounds more clear and more clean. Plus, of course, Kai is in high definition. Now, let's get to the picture quality. There's a big controversy about a green tint in Dragon Ball Kai. Now, this green tint exists in the Japanese version of Kai and in the international version, and we're not exactly sure where this green tint came from. It might be when they were doing the original editing of the video back, when they were first producing this thing, that they changed the color palette up slightly. They may have altered the tint in a bad way, but most people were able to pick up on the fact that there's this weird green tint. Now, when I was watching it on my television, I did not notice the green tint at all, and I was intently looking for it. I did not notice it. However, I was noticing people sending me screenshots of the green tint. In fact, I had a couple people say that when you watch it on TV, you don't even notice the green tint, but if you screen cap it and put it on a monitor, you do see it. So maybe it's my television settings, maybe it's just the way that it was captured, but I did not notice the green tint. However, if you do notice a green tint, that's just part of the Dragon Ball Kai look. I don't particularly like that green tint from all the screenshots. A lot of folks have complained about it. It's not perfect. I don't think it takes away from the product too much, although it's just not as clean as like the Dragon Ball Z Dragon boxes. Like, you haven't really seen Dragon Ball Z unless you see them with the Dragon boxes, because even the Funimation Blu-rays, and this is hard for some folks to swallow, but the Funimation Blu-rays are not as clean as the Dragon boxes, because the Funimation Blu-rays, that's right, there are DVDs that look better than Blu-rays, believe it or not. The reason for that's because the Funimation Blu-rays are transferred from a third generation SVHS tape, whereas, and this is all nerd shit, if you know what I'm talking about, you're gonna feel me. If you don't, just follow me, just trust me. But the Japanese ones were remastered by a company called Pony Canyon from the original masters. So the Dragon boxes, that's what I meant to say, they're not Japanese. The Dragon boxes are from the original Japanese masters. The Blu-rays that Funimation put out are from the third generation SVHS, and that's not Funimation's fault, okay? That's what Toei gave them, all right? It's not their fault. So you'll notice the best quality when you watch the Dragon boxes, but even then, the tint is a little bit different than the original run. With this Dragon Ball Kai, the green tint is apparently still there, but again, I personally wasn't really bothered by it. Now, also, those of you who watch Dragon Ball Kai, you'll also remember that they have Kenji Yamamoto for some of the music, and then there was a big plagiarism scandal in Japan where Toei found out that Yamamoto was stealing music from, popular bands as well as popular soundtracks like Avatar and Terminator. They let him go, and for the remainder of Kai, they replaced him with the Kikuchi score from Dragon Ball Z, but they put the music placements different than DBZ, which is another thing people complained about, but they were kind of rushed to do it, so I don't blame them too much for it. But when they got to the Buu Saga, rather than just use Kikuchi or bring back Yamamoto, they scrapped it all together and brought in Nobuhito Sumitomo, who is famous for doing not just Battle of Gods and Resurrection F, but also he did the Dragon Ball Super soundtrack, and he's still doing it. And honestly, even though I've only seen the first episode of the Buu Saga of Kai, I do like Sumitomo's score in this episode. I have heard later on it's not as good, but remember, that's people from watching the Japanese one, not the final chapters, which has 8 or so extra episodes to watch. And I'm going to be very interested to see what they left out and what they put in, because the Buu arc does not really have that much filler. It's just really, really long. So we might not even get to the end of this until next year. In fact, I know we won't. It'll be like February or March of next year when this is over. But what makes a good dub? Honestly, what makes a good dub to me is respect and accuracy to the original source material and good voices. And this really did capture that. It was very well produced, and I gotta be honest with you guys, y'all gotta be honest, I've been looking forward to the Kai Buu Saga dub more than the Super dub, and I actually enjoyed it more, and I'm not really sure why that is. Maybe because I knew that this product was being worked on for so many years, and now it's finally here, and I feel justified and validated that the voice actors now can actually express themselves. Maybe that's what it is. I don't really know, but I just really enjoyed watching this. Like, Kyle Hebert is so good as adult Gohan now. And I'm not saying he was never good. I'm saying he's just got the character down so perfect. Like, I'm just mind-boggled as how good this dub was. So I really look forward to watching the Kai Buu Saga dubbed. I'm excited for it. Let me know your thoughts. Did you like the Buu Saga of Kai dubbed, the final chapters? Are you going to be revisiting this arc now with Dragon Ball Saturday nights on Toonami with final chapters? I personally think they should have aired this before Super, maybe on a weekday schedule so they can get through it faster, but whatever, man. They wanted to get that Super dub out there quick. I just hope that people don't sleep on the Kai Buu Saga and just watch it because, man, this is a really, really good dub. Give it a chance. If you're a Dragon Ball Z dub fan and you like the old one, you got to give this dub a chance, dude. It's so much fun. Thank you for watching my little review video or thoughts on the Kai Buu Saga dub, final chapters, and I'll talk to you guys later, man, and definitely leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And if you like the video, like it, subscribe if you like what I do here. Talk to you later.